Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Weekly Home Edition. Well, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Chesapeake Public Schools are literally award-winning, and this most recent honor is among one of the highest, the National Blue Ribbon Award. Really awesome stuff happening right here in Chesapeake. Take a look.
That's the sound of teachers and staff at Camelot Elementary when they heard they were awarded the Blue Ribbon for overall academic excellence.
I am on cloud nine. It is one of the most humbling experiences. I'm truly grateful to have an opportunity to work with what I consider to be the best school in the city of Chesapeake. So it's an honor, and it's one I don't take lightly. Well, it sounds cliched, but they're a team. They work together. It's a cohesive team. They rely on each other to lift each other's spirits up, and they work diligently to ensure that our students are getting the absolute best. I will put them up against any staff in the city. We're truly blessed. I'll tell you, Camelot, the staff has a work ethic that is second to none. So they're just incredible.
Camelot Elementary is one of just over 300 schools throughout the entire nation to receive this honor, and one of only 7 within the state of Virginia to get the National Blue Ribbon Award. Way to go, Camelot Elementary. If you're not familiar with this award and what it's all about, the National Blue Ribbon Schools program recognizes outstanding schools, affirming the hard work of students, educators, families, and communities in creating safe and welcoming schools. Awesome stuff, Camelot, way to go. Well, early voting for the November election has truly hit its stride. So this week we expect to hit about 10,000 voters having cast their ballot already here in Chesapeake. That's out of about 167,000 registered voters. So we're getting there. We want to get as many people out to vote as we can. If you're thinking about early voting, but you're not really sure what to expect, I know that sometimes that can be nerve-wracking when you're walking into something new. So I actually was able to cast my ballot last week. And of course, I brought the cameras with me. So take a look. Hey, I'm Liz from Chesapeake Television, and today we're taking a look at early voting. I'm at the Central Library, one of several locations where you can get your vote in before Election Day. So let's head on in and see what early voting is all about. All right, we're here walking into the voting entrance, as you can see. So come on, let's go vote. You can see they're being very cautious with social distancing and keeping lots of room available for everybody. Hello, Peggy, I'm here to vote.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Here's my license. So there's actually lots of different kinds of valid IDs, and you can find that list at elections.virginia.gov, but it's easiest for me to just bring my driver's license. So there's 2 different ballots, but it doesn't matter where you go. So I live in 23322, but I could have gone to a library anywhere within the city except for Cuffy, because they're getting some work done right now, but all the other libraries are open for early voting. So now I've got my ballot, got my pen, let's go vote. All right, we're gonna make sure to fill in the squares as much as possible. And don't forget to turn it over. There are 2 questions on the back. And if you wanna do some research ahead of time, you can actually find this entire ballot at cityofchesapeake.net/vote. They show this entire ballot so you can do your homework ahead of time. I did that myself. So now I'm gonna vote. All right, my vote is in, but it's not official until we put it into the system. So let's go. All right, now for the best part, I get my sticker. So if you've requested an absentee ballot, you've already filled it out. There's actually lots of ways you can get it back to the voter registrar. You can, of course, place it in the mail, make sure that it gets there by 7 p.m. on Election Day night, or you can come to any of these satellite offices, any of these satellite library spots, and you can put it in this drop box. And then this will all be taken back to the voter registrar's office. Now, if you've requested your absentee ballot, but you now want to vote in person, you can actually do that. But you gotta bring that absentee ballot with you. If you can bring a blank absentee ballot with you when you go to vote, you will surrender that and then you'll be allowed to vote. If you don't have it, you never received it, you can't find it, you'll have to come and sign a paper swearing to who you are, and then you will be able to sign or fill out a provisional ballot. So the best, easiest way is to just bring that blank absentee ballot when you go to vote in person. All right, the details once more. Let's go over those early voting details. It's available weekdays through October 31st with 2 Saturday options, the 24th and the 31st. Locations are at any Chesapeake Public Library except for Cuffy. You can also do the traditional Election Day voting on November 3rd. Polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And anyone can vote absentee, no excuse required. You just request your ballot from elections.virginia.gov, and it'll come right to your house in less than a week. You'll fill it out, make sure it's turned into one of the satellite locations or to the voter registrar's office, which is 411 Cedar Road, by 7 p.m. on Election Day. So that part's really important. It's got to make it to the voter registrar's office no later than 7 p.m. on Election Day. The voter registrar's office is not surprisingly receiving a ton of phone calls at 277-9797. And of course, they are more than happy to receive your calls and answer your questions and concerns. But because of that high volume, I wanted to give you a couple other options where you can go to find some answers to your questions. The first one is their website, cityofchesapeake.net/vote. And the other one is the state's website, elections.virginia.gov. Both really good resources where you may be able to find your information before needing to call. But again, if you have to call, please do so, 277-9797. The city is now accepting applications for the Rental and Utility Assistance Program to help residents who are facing employment hardship due to the pandemic. This is going to become especially important in the coming weeks since the moratorium on utility shutoffs is going to be ending. So, through funding from the CARES Act, the City of Chesapeake has established a program that can help residents who can't afford to pay their rent, mortgage, or utilities. If that's you, please reach out. For eligibility requirements and to sign up, call the Housing Crisis Hotline at 757-587-4202. The Chesapeake Health Department continues to do amazing things here in our community, and perhaps one of the things that they are so good at is their coordination with other community organizations. And that's just what they did for a recent COVID-19 resource fair that took place last week. Here's a little peek at what that was like.
Well, this really is a community effort, and there's so many different facets that the pandemic has affected. Food, obviously, a lot of people have a lot of money. Hand sanitizer and masks. The mask is the big thing because a lot of people are becoming a little complacent. They're really tired of it, and we understand that. But the mask doesn't work unless you use it. And right now, that is the one most effective means of keeping the virus from person to person is covering your face and your nose. Wearing your mask properly is extremely important. Not on your chin, not on your head, not from your ear. Cover your nose and your mouth. We really appreciate Chesapeake. We've always had a great response from our community partners and from the community itself. They're grateful and thankful that we're here, and that's what public health does. That's why we're here.
If you're looking for another COVID-safe activity here in the city, the Chesapeake Dog Parks are among some of the best, and they're all over the city. So really, no matter where you live, you're going to find a dog park near you. There's 2 at City Park. There's one at Deep Creek Park, Elizabeth River Park, and Western Branch. So they're great opportunities for humans to get outside and enjoy some fresh air and to get those pups outside of the house and working off some of that quarantine, isolated energy they've gotten from being in the house so much. Of course, our friends at Chesapeake Humane Society agree with us that these parks are among some of the best. Take a look.
Hi, here we are at Elizabeth River Park to kick off 2020 Bark in the Park Virtual Edition. We are here to learn more about all the dog parks Chesapeake has to offer, and we think dog parks are the perfect activity for you to do in a pandemic. It's a great way for your dog to become social in a socially distanced time. The Chesapeake City dog parks have a lot of space. You can space out, you don't have to be too close to anybody, and you can let your dogs be free and roam and meet other dogs, but not worry about being too close to other people.
Keep in mind that all of our dog parks are membership only, so you need to go and get your dog park pass. It's only $10, and it's open to anybody, not just Chesapeake residents.
Throughout the pandemic, we have seen an increase of dog adoptions and people buying puppies. Now that the weather has cooled down, we think now is the perfect time for you to get out and get your pup socialized. Socialization is crucial for your pup, and as long as they're up to date on vaccinations and you think your dog's ready to go on out, grab your pup and visit any Chesapeake City dog park.
So if your pup is ready to head to the park for some puppy playtime, get your dog park membership at the Chesapeake Visitor Center, that's 1224 Progressive Drive, or give them a call at 382-6411. And of course, you can find all the information you need at cityofchesapeake.net/PRT. You've got this week and next to place your order through the virtual Chesapeake Master Gardeners plant sale. I placed my order last week. My plants are already in the ground, so it's literally that easy. All you have to do is you can find a list of the available plants along with photos and descriptions on the Chesapeake Master Gardeners Facebook page or on their website. Then to place the order, you just fill out a form, provide a personal check or money order, and then pickup will be coordinated in the Great Bridge area once your order is confirmed. It's definitely worth checking out. You can find all the information and the selection of plants at cmgv.org or by finding Chesapeake Master Gardeners on Facebook. And finally, if you're interested in conserving your land for farming or open space purposes, the city is now accepting applications for its land conservation programs. Chesapeake administers several programs to conserve land in response to the community's concern for the preservation of open spaces, rural character, and agricultural resources in the city. All programs are strictly voluntary. Learn more at cityofchesapeake.net or call 382-6176 if you have any questions. Well, that does it for this week's edition of Chesapeake Weekly. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody stay healthy, and we'll see you right here again next week.
Cabin fever setting in, online learning getting you down? Don't just read history, live history. At the Great Bridge Battlefield and Waterways Museum, you'll experience life in 18th century Virginia. Discover the water that defined the landscape. Visit a colonial tavern, known to us locals as the 3-Ton Tavern. And find yourself in the middle of the Battle of Great Bridge, which led Virginia on the path to independence. Understand the strategic importance of this causeway and the impact of this battle on the American Revolution. Learn how the Dismal Swamp and Albemarle and Chesapeake canals were created. Explore miles of nature trails, a marsh overlook, and an outdoor historic park. You can even have a picnic and watch the boats along the intra-coastal waterway. Your family adventure begins at the Great Bridge Battlefield and Waterways Museum. All COVID-19 safety precautions apply. Go to gbbattlefield.org for more information. Election Day is Tuesday, November 3rd. You can choose to vote in person during early voting or on Election Day. You can also choose to vote absentee. For details on how, when, and where to vote, visit cityofchesapeake.net/vote.
The leading cause of kitchen fires is unattended cooking.
Always stand by your pan.
Keep anything flammable like oven mitts or wooden utensils away from the stovetop at all times.
Wear short or tight-fitted sleeves to avoid loose clothing catching fire.
If a fire does start and you can't get it under control, get out and call 911.
Stand by your pan!
Attention Chesapeake residents, the COVID-19 virus is still among us. If it's in the air, it gets in there. Your lungs, ways to beat the pandemic, staying home and avoiding crowds. If out and about, wear a mask to prevent the spread of the virus. Social distancing equals 6 feet apart. Same goes for the workplace. Visit cityofchesapeake.net/COVID-19 or cdc.gov for the facts. The only way to stop this pandemic is for everyone to do their part. Mask up, move forward. This message brought to you by the City That Cares.
Mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at 58 years old. This disease just ravages a family.
It changes your life. If we work together, we can stop this epidemic. Now is the moment.
Contact Bright Focus and learn more.